Hi guys and welcome back to my channel. I am super excited to be back at you again today for another video. It's been a hot minute. I've been away for ages. I do apologize. I honestly did not mean to just disappear without a word, but you know how life is. Like, life was really kicking me in the bollocks, so I just had to take a step back, regroup, get my shit together basically, and then be ready to give you guys 120% of myself. So I'm back. Are you ready? Because I am back. Okay guys, so for today's video I decided to give the one brand makeup tutorial a go, and the brand of choice is E.L.F. I recently went on their website and I just splurged. Now the brand itself is not new to me because I use their makeup tools. I love their brushes. I've got their eyelash curler, their sharpener. Like, I love their tools, but I have never ever bought makeup for myself on there before, because I look at their shades online and it was very scary. And to be fair, they never really used to accommodate women of color, not up until now. So I thought I'll give it a whirl. What's the worst that could happen? This is a look I was able to come up with the stuff that I got. I literally had to work with what I had. It all is not too bad. It could be better without a shadow of a doubt, but yeah, this is what we have today. So without further ado, we're going to get straight into the video. If it's your first time here, please be sure to hit the subscribe button and the bell so that you can keep up with me and all of my uploads, and of course be a part of the family here. And if you're not new here and you know me and I know you, what's up? So yeah guys, I will catch you in the next one, which will be real soon. Until then, be good, stay safe, take care of yourselves, and I love you all. Bye. Okay guys, we're going to start off now. I must admit I was really nervous before I sat down to film this video, so let's go. I'm starting off with the E.L.F. Beauty Shield Makeup Mist. This is meant to serve you like what Fix Plus would, so you can use it before or after your makeup to freshen it up. It's got tons of antioxidants, vitamin E, and it's basically meant to be really good for your skin. So I will start by spritzing my already clean and moisturized face with the product, and I let it dry. I really like the scent of it. It's got like a nice citrusy, fruity smell to it. So I just tap it into my skin and make sure that my skin does absorb all of the goodness that it claims to have. Right, for the brows, I'm starting off with the Brow and Lash Gel. This is one of E.L.F.'s products that I really like. And I like to use mine before I fill my brows in, because I don't like for the product in the tube to be discolored when I use it afterwards. And I just find it works great for my brows to do it this way, to set my hair in place first and then go in and give myself a shape. So that's exactly what I'm doing here. For the brow cream, I'm using the Lock-On Liner and Brow Cream in the shade Espresso from E.L.F., which is the darkest one I believe that they do. And I'm going in with an eyebrow brush from Makeup Revolution, and I'm just drawing in some brows for myself that I don't have. I really like this brow cream. It's a really good dupe for the ABH one. It really stays in place. It does exactly what it claims to do, which is to like enhance and fill in your brow. You can get a really natural looking brow from this product as well. Or if you want to go dramatic, then go in a bit more heavy handed with it. So anyway, I go in and I just draw my brows and I brush the product through whatever little hairs I've got. And to shape my brow, I'm using the HD Concealer in the shade Medium. Now, personally, I prefer a thicker concealer to shape my brows because I find it does a better job. This one is a little bit on the runny side, so it's a bit more runnier, which would be great for highlighting but not for cleaning up the brows. Excuse me. Excuse me. So yeah, I'm just going in and just, shaping my brow. I also used it to prepare my eyelid space for my eyeshadow. So I use it as a base for my eyeshadow, basically. So I just buff that all the way out, and then to set it, I use the E.L.F. HD powder, which is just a white translucent powder, and I'm just patting that all over my eyelid space, preparing myself for my eyeshadow. So we're going to start off with the eyes, and I am reaching for the Matte palette, volume 1. To be honest, guys, when I went on their website, this is not the one I wanted. I wanted the volume 2 because that had the colors in it that I would personally tend to lean towards more, but it was always sold out, so I just settled for the next best thing. So starting off with that color right there, like a brownie skin tone type color, I'm just using that to highlight my brow bone area, if you will. And once I have that done, we're going to go in now, and I reached for my blush palette. So I reached for the E.L.F blush palette in the shade dark, and I went in with my Sigma E40 brush, and I went for the darkest color in the quad, and I used that as my transition color for the eyeshadow look I opted for. So because again I felt like the base wasn't good enough a base, I found myself going in and like having to really build up the color to the level, or to, you know, to the intensity that I wanted it to be at. But all in all, the blush palette itself is actually really bomb. So once I've got the first color down, I'm going to go back into the matte for my palette, and I am going to reach for two shades. So the really light brown and then the darker brown shade. And I'm just going to mix them both and go into my crease with that. I'm just going in, giving myself a bit more definition, a bit more shape to the look that I am trying to create. So again, that palette I found really powdery, and I really had to like really work it, really build it up, because it just was not pigmented enough. Now I'm going in with the rose gold liquid molten liquid eyeshadow thingy. You know what I mean, guys. So I go in and I'm going to use that as a base for the eyelid shadow, and I'm just going in and essentially cutting my crease with that product. This product will be really great as a base, well, for me personally anyway, really great as a base or on top of an eyeshadow look. For me to wear it on its own is a big no-no. It just wouldn't work for me. But for somebody of a lighter complexion, it would work great as like a little, like a highlighting shade on the lid. It would be great. So reaching into that baked eyeshadow trio, really light shade in the palette is what I'm going for first. I'm going to spritz my brush with the E.L.F Illuminating Mist and Set, and I am going to just essentially pack that color all over the base. So I'm working that all through the areas where I applied the rose gold liquid eyeshadow, and that will be my eyelid color. And once I have packed that on, I found this eyeshadow as well to be quite powdery, and it definitely needed a base. On its own, it wouldn't have made it. So reaching in for the really darker color in the trio, I'm going to pack that in the outer corner of my eyes with a flat concealer brush, and then I'm going to go in with a softer blending brush and just really blend the colors through and work it through the crease of my eye again, just to intensify the depth of my crease. So once I have that all blended out, I'm going to reach in for my E.L.F gel liner in black. Right, this gel liner I absolutely love. It's really creamy. It stays put. It's amazing. It's amazing. I highly recommend that cream eyeliner. So if you can't afford the Inglot one, that is a really good dupe for it. So now we're going to go on to the face, and I went for two primers. I went for the Luminous Matte and the Illuminating Face Primer. Right, the Luminous Matte I went for because I like a radiant look to my makeup, but because it had the word Luminous Matte, I felt like it would still mattify my T-zone area, which is where I get really oily, and still give me a luminous look to it. And of course, the Illuminating Primer was going to make me radiate and, you know, be luminous anyways. So I opted for both primers. Performance-wise, they both were all right, to be honest. I wasn't really gassed. 4 hours after I had done my makeup, I was beginning to look a bit, you know, oily like. So they were all right, but they weren't too fantastic, to be honest. Right, so I'm going to go in with the foundation, the oil-free SPF foundation, and I went for the shade Espresso because I felt like if I had a darker base, I could work with it. I didn't want to go with Cocoa because I was concerned that it might be a little bit too light for me because I'm quite dark at the moment. So, yeah. Right, this foundation was not bad. For me, it would work great as an, you know, everyday wear because after I blended it all the way out, I felt like I could really still see a lot of what I've got going on my face, like my dark spots and all of that stuff, even though I color corrected with my LA Girl color corrector, orange color corrector. Like if you have a look at my face now, you can still see, especially my cheek area, which is my problem area, you can still see a lot of what I've got going on underneath. So for me, if I was to want to go out to an occasion or I wanted a full beat, that would not be the foundation I would reach for. Now I'm going to go back into the HD concealer in medium, and I want to use that to highlight. Right, the moment I applied this concealer under my eye was the moment I realized, right there was when I realized this ain't gonna work. Like, I'm gonna be looking ashy AF if I just use this concealer on its own, and it was not going to give me the coverage that I wanted underneath my eyes. So I cheated again. I reached for my LA Girl in the shade Fawn just to help me amp it up and just make it that little bit better for me, make it work for me. So I'm going to go in with my Real Technique sponge again and just really blend it all the way out. I felt like mixing it up kind of saved the concealer, made it workable for me anyways. So once I have all of that blended, I'm going to go into the powder palette in the shade Deep, and I am going to reach in for the two lightest matte colors in this palette. And I used both light colors to set my highlight concealer. So those two, I will reach in with my sponge and I'll just go in and set all of the areas that I have highlighted on my face. So yeah, I was blending out my creases first, because you don't want to be setting your highlight whilst you still have a lot of creases going on. It just defeats the purpose of having applied the concealer in the first place. So I'm going in and just really working that powder into my highlight zones. The powders, I thought they did all right. I mean, they got the job done. They got the job done, that's for sure. I found them to be a little bit too warm for my skin tone, but again, I still made them work because I tried to stay very true to the theme of the video as much as I possibly could. Like, I really wanted to minimize the number of times that I was cheating trying to get this look together. So yeah, I'm just really working that powder everywhere that I want to highlight. And once I have that done, I'm going to go back in to the contour shade in the quad, and I'm going to go in with my E.L.F. I can't remember what name that brush is, but I'm just using that to contour my facial features. So cheekbones, nose, under the jawline area, and just slim this really chubby face down. I've put on quite a lot of weight, guys. I'm one of them people, like, when I'm stressed out, I just eat a lot of junk, and it's really starting to show in my face. I need to get my life together, honestly. So anyway, I'm still contouring. So once I've finished doing all of that, I'm reaching in for the sheer tint finishing powder, and I went for the shade Dark Deep because obviously I wanted it to work for me. And I'm just using my Real Techniques big powder brush thing to just really buff that in, and like really buff the highlight and the contour and everything all together so that it looks nice. And I think I kind of achieved that. So for highlighter, I'm using the baked highlighter in the shade Apricot Glow. I quite like the highlight, to be honest. Like, it's really on point. It was £3 well spent on this highlighter. It's really, really, really pigmented. So yeah, I reached for my Morphe brush and I just spritzed it a little bit because yeah, I wanted to be highlighted. You know how we like the highlight. And then I'm just really working that through all of my highlight zones, so cheekbones, nose, bridge of the nose, and yeah, just glow, baby, glow. So once I have all of my highlight areas worked out and I'm happy with how that's looking, I go back into my blush palette in the shade Dark, and those two colors was what I used. Just really worked my brush through and blushed up my cheekies. I like to work my blush through my contour area as well, so across the forehead and down the jawline, just so everything ties up together. So I'm reaching for the Illuminating Mist and Set. I use that to spritz my face, you know, take off the powdery, cakey look and make me look a bit more skin-like. So now back into my cream liner. I'm going to go in and I'm going to use that all the way through my waterline to intensify my eyes a little bit more. And then I'm going to go back into the Matte for Matte palette, and I'm going to use those three colors right there and just smoke out my lower lash line. Once that's done, I did buy lashes from E.L.F, guys, but them lashes were not going to cut it. They were too small. Like, it would not have worked for me, so I didn't wear them. I reached for another pair of lashes from a different company. So I used the mascara on my bottom lashes there, and then I'm going in again with the Beauty Shield Makeup Mist, and I use that as a final spray. You guys know how much I love to shower myself in my setting sprays and my, you know, fixing sprays. I just love to do that. So for the good old lips, I am reaching for the Lip and Cheek Duo in the shade Rose. That it's got a matte and a shimmer side to it, and I'm just using the matte side, and that's what I use as my lippy. I just work that all over my lips. It's really, really creamy, guys. It's really, really creamy, so it just glides along the lips, and the pigmentation is quite on point. And yeah, that was it. That essentially just completed the look. Again, I felt like I've had to work with what I had. But all in all, I think I did all right. Let me know in the comment sections what you think. Did I do okay? What would you score me over 10? All right, guys, thank you so much for watching. I'll see you in the next one. Bye!